Hello, Miami. This is 305 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will. And before I begin today's podcast, I just want to say thank you once again to Max Lawrence, the walk-on quarterback for the University of Miami, who was gracious enough to come on the show. And thank you to all of you who have watched it and have given positive feedback and comments on the episode. Okay, so if you haven't checked it out yet, please check it out on 305 Sports Now on this YouTube channel. Max Lawrence, pretty much it's called Walking Into the U. Okay, so it's a great episode with a great young man and a great family as well. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about a little bit about this weekend in which Miami hosted basically the creme of what is talent this weekend over at Green Tree, over at Coral Gables, as Dylan Stewart, David Stone, Ellis Robinson, all right, all graced us with their presence at the University of Miami. Miami came up with a commit from Cameron Pruitt, right, the stud linebacker out of Alabama, and one particular recruit was very impressed with what he saw over there at and that man's name is Colin Simmons. Colin Simmons, the defensive end, 6'3", 225 pounds, from Duncanville, Texas, out of Duncanville High, is rated the number one defensive end in this recruiting class, right? He was very impressed with what Mauro Cristobal had to offer, very impressed with Jason Taylor, Joe Salavea, the defensive staff. He really enjoyed also the fact that Miami has been very much on top of his recruitment. Okay, that is something that has been very important to a lot of recruits. Saquon Patterson said the same thing, that they have been really relentless in trying to get him on campus and trying to talk to him and make sure that he's doing well and so on. So hopefully he puts on the green orange for the University of Miami eventually. All right, a little bit about Colin Simmons. He has received about 42 offers. Obviously, Miami, Alabama, LSU, Texas. Steve Wilfong over at 247 Sports, has listed him, as crystal balled him over to go to LSU. That's probably going to change or may change, as it seems like has really picked up ground on Colin Simmons. And let me tell you, it's not just me speaking, okay? Those of you think that, you're just making up stuff, Will. Well, that's actually not true, okay? Because Colin Simmons was quoted, and I quote, "They are invested in me." This is from Colin himself. "They want to see me at Miami and want to not just see me throughout my years at Miami, but the years after Miami too. Life after football and family. They honestly check off every mark off my list." This is coming from Colin Simmons himself. Okay, and just a little bit about Colin that I want you guys to know. The kid, again, had 22.5 sacks this past season. He is the defensive player of the year over there in Texas for his division. If you look at the huddle, which I have posted up here right now, he's got solid speed. Okay, he's got very quick, very good hands. All right, very quick off the ball. Very difficult to block as well, especially in one-on-one situations as well. He has very good footwork, very good handwork. He's listed at 6'3", but his wingspan is much more. I honestly don't have, the wingspan for the kid, but just if you look at his arms, he's very long. Okay, and that's something that, is a problem for quarterbacks when they want to throw the football in the pocket. Ball gets batted down, and it's also very difficult for offensive linemen to block because when these DNs extend their arms, all right, it makes it very difficult to really get a grip on them and so on, especially if they have, the handwork and the footwork, that goes along with it as well. He has great instincts as well. He's able to, especially in read option plays, in particular when the quarterback decides whether or not, to hand off to the running back or not. He's very instinctive, and if he is wrong on a read, maybe he thinks the running back's going to take it, he doesn't over pursue the running back. And if the quarterback does maintain the football, he does give chase, and eventually, as you can see in some of these videos, he will bring the quarterback down as well. So he's very instinctive. He doesn't break contain, which is something that happens with a lot of defensive ends. A lot of defensive ends, they tend to over pursue because they're so busy trying to sack the quarterback that it sometimes, it leaves, to gaps for the quarterback to run through as well. Even in delayed handoff, on a delayed handoff as well, it leaves a gap. So he doesn't break contain. So he's very difficult, for a lot of offensive linemen to maintain because if you go outside, he's going to keep his position. All right. If you go inside, he's also good, has a good inside game as well. Right. He's able to go between tackles and not just go to the outside and get to his quarterback if need be, or get to the running back as well. Right. Preventing, a big gain or whatever the case may be. So Colin is basically a fine tool athlete very athletic, very quick, very smart, very instinctive, something that Mario Cristobal does want, to have, as far as football players go. What Coach Cristobal wants, okay, what he really wants is that he wants football players. And what I mean by that is he wants guys that love football. Okay, I'll give you an example, and he's coming on the show real soon again. Raul Aguirre, right? Raul Aguirre is a kid that is a football machine. All right, even when he talks about football, he eats it, breathes it, lives it. Okay, especially when he talks about his linebacker position. Not many people or not many players when he interviewed them, used the terms like Mike, Will, and Sam when talking about their position. They just say, "Oh, linebacker, middle linebacker, outside line." They usually don't say that. He talked in detail, and that's pretty much because the kid lives and loves football. So that's what the University of Miami wants. Okay, that's if you don't believe me, and so on. Ask any recruit if you see them, at a Publix or whatever the case would be. They want football players, and Mario also wants an SEC body type, for his players as well. That's also coming, from my sources as well. All right, so that's just something that I wanted to address with you guys. So Colin Simmons, Dylan Stewart, David Stone, those are guys. Cameron Pruitt, those are guys that are pure and football players. Okay, what Cristobal wants to do is build a culture with this program, and he wants to build a culture that is of winning. Like, once again, a winning tradition, and also is a pipeline to the NFL because, recruiting, good recruiting also leads to, to good draft picks as well, as far as the National Football League goes. So that's what he really wants. I also believe that what he's trying to do is build a dynasty in the trenches, whether it's the offensive line or even the defensive line. You can make a case for the front four, all right, but you could also say the front seven, as I do believe linebacker is a position of target, especially last season and even a bit this season as well, that the Canes are focusing on. But the Canes have really, really, really turned up the gas this season, this recruiting cycle on the D line, right? Whether it's the end position or whether it's the tackle position as well. What I've heard is that they don't just have like, oh, you go to college. They know a lot of these players want to use to get to the NFL. And from what I understand, okay, this is coming from sources, and different podcasts and so on. From what I understand, what the university is doing with these players is giving them a plan on how to get them there. So if they're 3 and out, right? If they're 3 and out, they have an opportunity, to come together, play together, dominate together, and then go to the league together. And then, of course, you have, you build depth as well from different recruiting classes as well. Next man up mentality, pretty much. So that's what I believe they're trying to do. They really want to build a dynasty, all right? A dynasty with the defensive line. All right. Of course, the linebacker position as well. But this season in particular, the defensive line, because they want to have the best defensive line in the NCAA. That's why they're going after guys like, like Dylan Stewart, going after guys like Cam Pruitt, going after guys like Colin Simmons. They're also going after guys like David Stone, right, as well. Aiden Breland, I almost call him AJ. Aiden Breland as well. T.A. Cunningham is another one, too, that they're targeting as well. So that's what they want to do at the University of Miami. And Colin Simmons fits that mold of a Ruben Bain. That is a relentless defensive end with a high motor and very, very, very good football instincts as well. So that's what they're trying to do at the University of Miami. All right, everybody, that's it for me. If you like what you heard, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to 305 Sports Now. I am Will. Stay safe. God bless. See you soon. I have some shows coming for you. It's all about the you. Stay safe. God bless. Bye-bye.